I'd like to welcome, as usual, my man Powie and my man Zeus, returning guest. He's been there since episode 2. In fact, the source of the name of this podcast. Hey, man.
Nice kid shirt.
And we are here in this special episode just to pay tribute to Ace Frehley, the spaceman. What can be said that in the last few days already hasn't been said? This sucks. This really sucks. It's tough for everybody, but it's given myself and my friends opportunity and occasion to maybe dig a little deeper in the catalog. I've kind of been listening to nonstop Ace, with some Kiss in there. We're just coming together to share our memories and our impressions that we'd like to celebrate. And the best way to do that is to tell some stories. So what was the first thing that you heard or saw where you heard that name Ace and you really, it just hit you, and you were like intrigued by who is this guy? What is this creature? Is he real? Is he a superhero?
I couldn't remember exactly. It was probably, could have been Alive. It could have been the first album. Could have been like Firehouse, like the intro to Firehouse was Paul's intro now, but just listening to that, and just that.
Well, didn't you mention, look, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but
the first picture I saw of Ace Frehley was that one at Adam Roberts' apartment in his room when we blasted Kiss Alive for the first time, and that was what is this? What are these things? What are these people? They're not people, though.
Yeah. Now, did you guys go through, because I know I did, phases of who your favorite member was? Because I know for the longest time, for me, it's been Ace, but
Ace was always the coolest.
Mine was Peter, I have to say, when I first got into him. But I was seeing him, when you guys were saying that, I would see him on TV shows and clips and kind of getting to know them. You asked about how you kind of learned about Ace. And I think I was still getting to know them when somebody handed me the Ace Frehley solo album. I was still learning the records, and that was one of the first ones I heard. And that kind of summed things up nicely of what was going on with him,
Yeah, like you, and maybe because we're both drummers, but yeah, I kind of glommed on to Peter at first, but Ace was just kind of more visible, and Paul Lynde, the Halloween special, and just the way he moved on TV for that.
As you guys have talked about, they had the Beatles thing going where you're just kind of taking them all in, and it's the Ace vibe was from the get-go.
Very much.
Yeah.
What can you say? It was just there, and
4 distinct personalities, and it's like,
Gene freaked me out quite a bit, as you guys have also talked about when I first got into him, until I kind of got to know him. But the Ace vibe is always an integral 1/4 part that made it.
Gene was as scary as he was and as magnetic as he was. It was. I remember, and again with the Paul Lynde Halloween special, like, seeing Ace was kind of like, I got a sense almost instantly that he was like the most human one, I guess, kind of lighter, just kind of jokey, like it just a little bit more real, and it kind of calmed me down a little bit.
Right.
Seeing
like
Gene,
you're
so
can be there, and that, if that guy over there is so scary, then this guy over here is not. And it's almost like a balance of evil versus good.
Especially, not even like you mentioned, like, one side or the other, but what really, struck for me, it's that exact thought process. But those two, with Paul singing on his mic, Gene and Ace would Ace had the balls to walk over to that thing and get right in his face, and they'd move back and forth with each other, and Gene would flick his tongue at him, and I was just like, how is this guy not losing his mind?
Right.
He
must have some kind of power too.
Right. And I think, I don't know, it's funny when late Thursday night, got the news that afternoon. I got a text from Scott Carlson, and I sleep late. It was probably afternoon, but he was the first person that told me. I was like, oh fuck, yeah. I said, you're something like, you're kidding me. And then I was like, you wouldn't kid about that. Like almost instantly, I was just like, because I wasn't really awake yet. But then I realized, I kind of got my bearings, and I was like, oh shit, he's been in the hospital, and but no, I say that to say this, like by the end of that evening, I mean, I'm still, and it's how many 4 days ago, it's days later, and I'm still processing it, the shock of it. Shock me. Don't make me feel better.
It still hasn't sunk in for me.
That night, Thursday night, I called my friend Ivan Moses. I'd mentioned him before as the kid when I moved down to Missouri in '78, who had he had Rock and Roll Ever. He was the first person to turn me on to that record. The shining moment of that record is the Making Love solo. And it's just so frenzied, and like, I mean, that made me want to play guitar. Hearing Making Love was like, man, should I be playing drums? Like, I want to do that. Obviously that didn't last. I mean, just
Ace Frehley's guitar solo was like the first thing that I had heard that wasn't, I mean, the hardest guitar riff that I had ever heard was from Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting by Elton John.
Mm-hmm.
And then listening to Alive probably was like, just like, didn't know that a guitar could sound like that. Again, we could sing along to them.
Yeah.
All the notes in our heads.
Yeah. Everybody's got that internalized. Yeah, it's like,
you've quoted that for years.
I didn't even know what chicken picking was. Years would go by before I heard somebody use that phrase.
Right.
And I didn't know. That was just something Ace did. From Love Gun, I really like Hooligan a lot. Hooligan's a really weird solo. I mean, Almost Human is really weird. But yeah, I Got Love for Sale.
Yep.
Man, when we got Great Expectations together, like, I just remember being so tickled that anybody wanted to. I don't remember if Jim just started playing it, or it seems like it might have been Dave's idea to do Got Love for Sale. But just when we jumped on it, it was just like, I remember that one. I remember Snowblind. I'm pretty sure it was Jim's idea to do Snowblind.
Nice.
That was one of my favorite ones to do.
Yeah. Or maybe it was your idea. I have a hard time.
I think it was Jim.
I have a hard time remembering.
I was just going along for the ride, but
I think a lot of it was like him just starting to maybe mangle a riff, and then you going ooh, like maybe you just kind of glommed onto Snowblind, and we decided to run with it.
That's the best way to do it.
Let's talk about the first time we saw Kiss, the first time we saw Ace, like the impressions of Space Ace in a live setting.
I didn't see him till way later, like the reunion, so
that counts.
I just wanted to see the original guys in makeup and hear those riffs again. It's like, will it be that good? And it was. I was like, holy crap. He's playing them. He's playing faithfully. He looks good.
Creatures was my first tour, but that Frehley's Comet first tour, I think, or that in '87, I always did count that as way up there. It was such a fun show.
Mm-hmm.
I remember just thinking I could wanted to watch it all night. So that for some reason that was one of my favorite Ace memories. Is that first Frehley's Comet show was really good with Anton Fig was there as well.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Letterman happened to be out that week, so he just I didn't know he was going to be there. I think it was already known it was going to be like a different drummer.
Yeah,
right?
that there was going to be a bit of
a show. Yeah, so I wasn't expecting him at all. But I was very excited when he walked on that stage for sure.
Wow.
They did a really fun show, really good show, for sure.
Now, if I remember correctly, that was White Lion and Y&T.
Yes, I believe that's correct. But he was in the middle, right? That's true, right? Like
wow.
Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a crazy bill, but it was.
Yeah, Y&T had that hit
Main Street.
Summertime Girls, I think.
Oh.
So yeah, well, that's so I'll probably throw the date up or something, but I feel like it was like summer '87.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I think the record came out on Ace's birthday.
Wow.
I think it came out on 4/27/87. And of course, we had our local record store here in Flint, Wyatt Earp Records. The proprietor, Duggar, was one of the coolest people ever. And one of the cool things he did was he always dropped stuff a day early. And unless the shipment was late or whatever, albums came out on Tuesdays and you could always go like first thing Monday and snag whatever you were intently waiting on. And for me, it was definitely that record.
Wow.
Because there's plenty of, what Cream or Hit Parade or whatever, you see stuff coming.
Yeah, for sure.
You see ads for records. We knew we were ready for that stuff, man. Probably won't edit to sequence this or whatever because we usually kick off the episode about shirts. But yeah, got this at that show, and
wow.
I'll probably throw up a picture. I'll throw up a pic here. Young Fido in the cafeteria. Somebody took a picture of me in the lunchroom with a mouthful of food wearing this t-shirt. And of course, at the time, I thought it was stupid, but like now I'm like, cool. Frehley's Comet from day one, baby. You think maybe it was me and you and our buddy Roy Martin that went to that show.
Maybe, yeah. I can't remember the third person.
But
I think there was one.
I'm pretty sure there was a third person, and maybe even could it have been Jim and Dave? I'm not sure, but I do know that a couple of us were walking the concourse at Pine Knob, this outdoor amphitheater type situation, and Anton Fig was just walking. He was walking one way and we were walking the other, and he stopped and signed. Gosh, it was like a matchbook or something. For whatever reason, I didn't give him my ticket stub to sign, but he signed something and I lost it. Yeah, it was cool to run into him. He was just like milling about with the common peeps, no rock star attitude. And of course, at that time, he was easily the most visible of the band, being on Letterman every night, Listening to this record earlier, and of course, listening to it this whole time, you're kind of struck by the same thing that you are on the first album, is his oddity, like his ability to metrically modulate, play over the bar.
Oh yeah.
Play like 3 against 2, and Anton's really, especially with Ace, he's kind of trippy. He just throws in some weird stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the actual, and I kind of mangled it when we were doing it with Great X, but to that hi-hat, that pedaled hi-hat part in Snowblind, where he just kind of like sneaks it in, and but yeah, Rip It Out is pretty amazing drum. I mean, everything.
I like his work on Mass too, strangely. weird thing to specify, but especially two sides of the coin.
Right.
Great drum track.
Oh yeah.
Those fills in that, in two sides of the, during the guitar solo. It's just kind of a textural guitar solo with all these like, it's crazy Anton stuff, man.
Yep.
So yeah, there's our little Anton Fig appreciation moment.
Yep. Anton and Ace for sure.
Our condolences go out to Anton as well. Those guys were tight for quite a while.
So much has been said, and how can you expand on that? But the superhero element, as far as everybody's still trying to process this, as kids, especially when I first got into them, that's definitely how I compartmentalized them, was as superheroes in large part. So this isn't part of the equation that way,
Right,
so
right.
Yes.
Yeah,
as far as everybody struggling with this,
as eloquently stated by Mike Brandfold over on Three Sides, superheroes aren't supposed to die. What that made me think of, strangely enough, back in, I guess it was 92, 93, DC killed Superman.
Right. I can't remember what year, but there was a Superman's Dead issue that came out.
Came in that black. It came in a black bag, and it had an armband with a S on it.
Right.
It's not totally relevant, but yeah, that's what it made me think of.
But I mean, did you guys meet Ace?
Yeah,
I never did.
A couple of times.
Okay. Yeah, I met Ace kind of twice. He was at the hotel that I worked at, and the first time was he was in a room in the old building. We called it the old building because it was built in 1888.
Tell the people where this was.
It was Coronado, California. It was called Hotel Del. I guess it still exists.
Should.
He was in the old building, and then he transferred to a more modern room. And I got a call from somebody that said, Paul Frehley wants you to retrieve his trash can from his former room and take it to his new room. Okay? And I knew that was his real name, so I was like, oh shit, I'm going to take Ace's trash can to his room.
Now, did you already know he was checked in at that point?
I did not at that point. That was when I basically found out that he was in the hotel. I'm pretty sure. And I double-checked it to check the reservation to see if it was Paul Frehley. And it was. And I was like, holy shit, it's him. And I took an officer with me, and I just went and retrieved the trash can from one room and brought it to the other. And he said, he gave me $5, and he was like, lost the phone number. And I was like, thanks, Ace. And then I just bailed because I was so embarrassed.
It was like that Mean Joe Green moment.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that hey kid. And that was it. And then he was there for his birthday at one point. He wasn't staying with us, but he had dinner with us, and somebody had mentioned that he brought the car. One of the valets was like, hey, I just parked Ace Frehley's car. I was like, right on.
Was it a DeLorean?
I booked over to our restaurant, and sure enough, he was there with the family holding court. So I did a couple flybys, and then after they finished or whatever, and they were leaving, I kind of followed him up steps, and I was like, happy birthday, Mr. Frehley. He's like, hey, thanks. And that was it. And I went to front desk to bring him. I wanted him to give him like a gift basket of some sort, but he wasn't staying. I don't think he had a room. So
he was living in San Diego at that point, right?
He was.
What year was this?
Fuck if I know. I couldn't tell you. It was one of the years I was living close to there.
And he was. I'm guessing he was sober at that point.
I'm guessing. That was the thing too. It was like I wanted to make sure if we got him a gift basket for his birthday that it didn't have any alcohol in it.
Yeah.
But because a lot of the gift baskets that we gave came with like champagne or wine or something.
Yeah.
That probably would have been not good. I could have started something really badly.
Yeah.
Really bad. I'm not loud, but my ears are fucked up. So
thought to yourself the wine was out and we should switch to rum.
Cold gin.
Yeah. Cold gin. Unfortunately, the bottle's empty. Oh no.
That one's for Ace.
That's one for my homies. I
homies.
thought this bottle was empty. But
Give me that
was for you, Ace.
But yeah, those are my 2 experiences of kind of meeting Ace.
That's
What'd you do?
Easily the coolest ones. Yeah, and that's what kind of perplexes me. My friend Kevin Ellswick, MIA, has been for some years. Zeus, could you? Oh, maybe. Could you hand me that double platinum over there? I will probably do a little edit. Oh man, I can't believe, man.
I'm gonna lick it off the thing.
Lick it up.
That's not Ace. That's not Ace.
It must be the Ace experience because it's not us.
Yeah, what would the Ace Frehley band like to play next?
So I'm sure this isn't gonna like register to camera, but I can't even remember. Initially I thought it was Heavy Metal Unlimited in Saginaw, at the Ace and Alice show. I believe I saw him there twice. But me and Kevin met him, and this was my double platinum promo. It's got the groovy little sticker on the back and the record, that came with all of them. But Ace was like, to no one in particular, was like, "What's your name?" And Kevin piped up and told him. And so on the inside, he signs to Kevin, "Rock on, Ace Frehley." And I'm just kind of like, I didn't want to pipe up and say anything, but I was like, man, that's my record. Like, but I asked him, I must have said exactly that. And I asked him if he could sign the front, and he did. But it's kind of crazy that how little recollection I have of that. I guess that you just chalk that up to being starstruck or whatever. But
me too. That's my thing too. It's like I didn't want to be too invasive.
Yeah,
celebrity. We're told in our job to not be.
Well, yeah, you were security guard.
Don't be. We deal with a lot of people who probably
maintain professionalism.
High profile folks who, they don't want to be fawned over or anything, so you just keep your distance and be cool.
Mm-hmm. But I remember a little more clearly, Scotch and I weren't in line together, but we were in the same line. And I want to say this was 90. Well, what does that say? It's the other Ace autograph on my.
Oh, yeah.
Does it say 93 or?
I just see an Ace card.
Yeah.
It's Ace card.
I can't tell. The numbers are kind of squashed together. It's either 93 or 95. And that was a really, he's kind of got a bit of an inconsistent autograph, but that's a really good one. Right. Yes. Actually, you can see on the double I'll throw a pic up of the double platinum, but they look different. But that's a good one. And he was cool. The line was kind of long. This was before meet and greets and whatever. And
was that at the Ramada?
That was probably either at the Ramada or the Marriott.
Before you had to pay like $1,000 to do something.
Yeah, and all you had to pay was to go to the thing.
Right.
You know, and if you just had the patience to stand in line.
It's like a hotel ballroom kind of thing?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Right.
And then, but then Johnny Scotch, I can't remember what he had him sign, but he was like, can you write the gravity that used to hold you down just don't exist no more? And Ace goes, too long, something else. What's your name? Jim. Good name. And I think he wrote to Jim Ace Frehley.
Too long, something else.
Yeah, that's what he said. I wish Scotch was here to tell that story himself, and who knows? Maybe I'll get my bro back on here.
Maybe. Shoot, he's got that even better story where he talked about showing up and playing the man's rig.
Oh my gosh, that's right. And there's a photo of that. Yeah, I better sit on that. I'd love to tell that story, but yeah, like he's probably got the best story of all as far as meeting Ace. But I just remember getting a kit, you know, after the dispersal of the autograph line, being at the hotel and him telling that story. Too long, something else. What's your name? Jim, good name. Wouldn't you know it? We were able to pull it off. Look who we got back on the show. Johnny motherfucking Scotch. Oh, boom. Let him know, baby.
Johnny motherfucking Scotch. Sadly, Ace Frehley has passed, and it hurts me as much as all of you. I could say more, but I know that everybody feels like theirs is the most, and I get it. I've met him, you know, once. It was amazing. I thought I had it figured out. It was this picture from like a 75 shoot, you know, and he's sitting there and his legs look all long, like just the way the shot was. And so I handed that to him, and I said, "Can you write the gravity that used to hold you down just don't exist no more?" And he looked at me and said, "Too long, something else." And I was like, "Oh, what's your name?" "Johnny." He's like, "That's a great name." And to Johnny. So that was amazing. Then there was a period where I was building guitar amps or assembling guitar amps. And a guy who worked with us, who was a manager or whatever, had this friend named Todd Youth that was playing guitar for Ace Frehley. And so we took some amps to him to try out at Soundcheck on 4th of July. And it was cool as hell, and he had this black Explorer. And I didn't push, you know, I just was there, but he knew I was an Ace freak and a guitar player. And so he handed me his guitar. And I didn't strum a chord, I didn't see if it was in tune. And for the first time ever in my life, flawlessly busted out the solo to Love Her All I Can. And all the crew members side stage were kind of drop-jawed, you know, they were like, "Oh my God." And so then Todd said, "Hey, Rocco, can Jim play number one?" Keep in mind, not number one like Ace's main guitar. Well, I mean, maybe to a degree, but the Ace Frehley model, the very first one, the one serial number 1. And Rocco was like, "Hell yeah." And so then I'm putting on Ace's guitar. On Ace's stage, I'm looking around at all the, you know, blue amplifiers. I think it was Anomaly. I think it was the tour.
Yeah.
In Mount Clemens on the 4th of July. And so I, you know, obviously catered to Ace tunes at that point. And during this, the rest of the band members got on stage one by one. And so I'm playing with the drummer first. And then the bass player gets involved, and then it's like, oh, this is a full band. So I did Strange Ways with Ace's band and did the solo, everything. It was freaking amazing. And he had this drummer that sang a lot like Paul Stanley, you know what I mean? So after I was done, or I thought I was done, they still did sound check, and they were doing song like Love Gun and stuff, and the guy sounded amazing. But then Rocco asked me, "You want to do the smoking guitar?" And I was like, let me think about it. Yes. And so he shows me what knob to pull to make it happen, and I'm strapping on, you know. Or he showed it to me first. Anyway, it was amazing. It was like almost no guitar left. I mean, it was absolutely like 2 tanks, all plastic, that met right in that zone where the neck pickup is. Like no wood whatsoever left. And either way, it would have been great. If it would have fully smoked, I would have been in heaven. But in this case, I did the switch, and one little smoke ring came out and floated away. And it just, I couldn't have been happier. I was just like, that's exactly what needed to happen.
Yeah. That was a little bit of Ace's spirit saying, sit down.
Yeah, too long, something else.
Yeah, too long, something else.
It was amazing.
Of course it was.
And I was playing in a band with actually this guy here at the time.
And this guy's tall, so imagine he comes over, we're standing under this pavilion, we're set up, we're about to sound check or whatever, and he's like 7 feet tall. I was like, I've never seen you taller than that, man.
Had my Ace boots on.
I didn't. Yeah, you really did. You really did. Yeah,
it was amazing, and I had to leave.
Yeah,
I didn't get to see Ace play.
He had to work.
Never met him, for that event, and
But you came to work and you gave your bro a pick, man. Thank you again.
I did get goodies. And it was like, so I showed up to the gig with the best story in the world, the most amazing story in the world for someone like me, a Kiss fan. They were basically my parents, you know what I mean? And which explains a lot. But Ace Frehley meant and means so much to me. The fact that happened to me, I am truly blessed. It's not at all bragging in any way, shape, or form. It is celebrating and just sharing. That was the most amazing. When I posted about it, I entitled it "The Day I Touched the Sun."
That's right.
So I think you can see it from Jendel or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, the twinkle you see in our eyes right now is the third moon of Jendel.
This guy got to do that.
Wish I would have saw that up close and personal, you know?
I do too.
Trying to think.
And thank you to Dave Patura. I mean, he took the pictures. I mean, it was kind of back before, like, I didn't think I had a phone that did a camera thing. But the other thing, if I could include this, they have the amps that are on stage, and those aren't really the amps. And he had the same amp that I used. He had a JCM 2000. He also had a 5150, so there were 2 heads. But I just couldn't believe it. And then I saw a picture of Ace Frehley and Les Paul holding that same guitar. So that was a double thrill, because just to even touch the same guitar that Les Paul himself touched.
My God. Yeah.
Not to mention one that Ace Frehley played Let Me Go Rock and Roll on. You know what I mean? Like, so thank you, Dave Patura. Rest in peace, brother. That was...
Yeah, it's...
the greatest gift ever.
One for Dave, one for Ace. Mm-hmm.
It's a sad day.
It's been a sad few
It's been
days,
a sad
but,
day every day since, because...
But, you know, I'm telling you, just listening to Ace as much as I've been listening to Ace, I mean, obviously, that's part of the therapy. That's part of the process.
Well, I mean, the solo album, I mean, nothing compares to the 78 solo album. Just telling you, nothing compares.
Nothing compares.
Nothing before, nothing after. Well, okay. Maybe a little bit before. I still think Rocket Ride is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It doesn't even seem like it's him. That end solo is like, what the hell happened here? Oh my God, this guy is just freaking.
And it's the same. He infected Peter, because that the fill that it goes into, that sounds about as much like Peter as that sounds like Ace. You know what I mean? It's very Clapton. It's very like Clapton on 45 almost. It's like,
I think however they produced it, it took away some of that attack, you know, because his pick attack was a big part. And some of those licks, like, it might have sounded more like Ace if you heard more of the rake. You know what I mean?
Yeah. More of the attack.
But it just, it was just cleaner. It was, and so deliberate. You know what I mean? Just so freaking on. It was insane. Who did that?
Right. Ace did that.
I think it was Ace. Yeah, I really do.
Think it was him.
You're looking for someone.
And it is Ace. Just open up your ears and hear what he left us, you know?
And the solo in Ozone is really good too. Just throwing that out there because, oh my God. I mean, is there marimba in that? I mean, what the hell is happening there? I mean, think that's I'm hearing some unmasked happening there.
I think it's an early guitar synth, because there is there's synth on that, guitar synth on that record. Man, the demo version of Strutter with the extended solo, like that's my favorite Ace. Like, one of my favorite Ace solos is the fucking Kramer demo Strutter. Those two.
One of my favorites, and there is no favorite. Everybody knows this.
Right, they're all so.
Because after you say it, you think of the other one. But
yeah.
Got to Choose is one of the finest Ace solos. I mean, everybody wants to go for Strange Ways, and me too, 100%. Or Almost Human, you know what I mean? They love the dinosaur moans,
over the top, yeah. But yeah, just the tickly little things.
100,000 Years,
and like, you know, and something that you don't hear much elsewhere in the
Syncopate.
Elsewhere in the whole catalog, for the most part, is Ladies in Waiting. You know, nobody talks about Ladies in Waiting, but go back and listen to that, man.
I think that is kind of Lover All I Can with the unison bends over top.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of the same, and which is kick-ass. The other thing I wanted to mention was Ace Frehley and a wah pedal. Are you kidding me? Like, it only happens like maybe 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Ride. Shock Me, Rocket Ride. Yeah. Where else? Is there one other?
Yeah, there's.
I think someone Hotter Than Hell had it.
I want to say it was something later, like maybe like Dark Light. Maybe not. But that's,
you're absolutely wrong on that.
That's on a list of favorite Ace solos.
Oh, you know what it is? Getaway. Oh my God!
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is exactly it.
Dude, I love Getaway is the best track on the album, is it not?
It's a tough call.
It is tough, man. Room Service kicks your door down. But God, that's a great Ace solo,
I don't
too.
know. What's the one called? I think it's called Rock Bottom.
Yeah.
That might be kind of one of the best ones ever.
you know what? Obviously, our
Did you know about Going Bald by Rush?
Rush.
It was when they were touring with Kiss and they were making fun of going blind.
I did not know that.
I read it just the other day. Oh my God, that is so funny. I need to listen to the Rush one again to see if there's any other bites, you know.
Wow,
I think I'm going bald. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. I looked in the mirror today. Yeah. Yeah, we'll check it out.
Anyway, I saw a thing where that's what they said, that it was...
I hope it was like Getty or
they were
Alex
poking fun, and they loved Ace, like, from what I've read.
Man, that Thursday, man, my Instagram was just... I couldn't see a post that wasn't a tribute to Ace. Like, my feed was just so Ace.
Days later, it still is.
You know, and it's Ace is... I mean... I think the world, maybe we've just sort of ignored it, but I think the world...
more than Ozzy. I mean, I'm being honest. You know what I mean?
I think the world understands what we've understood since we were little kids. One of the really sad aspects of Ace passing when he did is the Kennedy Center honors, he's not going to get to be there.
But he did receive the knowledge of it.
Right. He knows he's honored. He knows he deserved that.
Because we don't know how that would have went. You know what I mean? Anyway.
I'd like to think it would have went fucking great. I mean, I probably would have teared. I'm gonna tear up seeing it. But he, you know, you're right. He knew, like, he was immensely proud of it, and that's consolation. You know, that's how it should be.
Not just that, but knowing that everybody who matters loved Ace.
Right. Right.
All of our heroes stemmed from our original hero.
Mm-hmm. I've even read posts, like, they're not really my cup of tea, but his influence can't be denied, and, you know, that sort of thing. Like it.
Ace's solos were the best version of that song for that amount of time. Whatever song it was, that solo.
That was
brought life.
That was a song within a song.
Yeah,
a song within a song. Song servant is what you learn to be the more time you spend as a musician.
It's actually all that matters.
Yeah, and
serving yourself serves no one.
He was to be able to
especially no one's ears.
To be how young he was, you know, when he started laying that shit down. For him to be that, to be a song servant at, like, what, like 22, 23?
Let's not forget Darklight.
Oh, dude,
that solo is absolutely amazing.
Angry Hive of
the
Bees,
best
man.
his right hand has ever been. Oh my God.
Well, I don't know about ever, but
that's the best right hand ever.
There's
dude.
Some really, there's some tra-la-la-la going on. It's fantastic.
And I guess in X-Ray Eyes, he kind of tried to do the noisy solo.
Oh, is that one of those two, like a solo over a solo, where they kind of cross?
Well, I'm just saying it had the dinosaur moans. It had
it had the really
just the placement, just the randomness and the.
That's one of those.
The D-string dinosaur moans matter.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that it's not just an E-string thing, but
well, in songs like that where he displayed both his, like, classic Ace vibrato and the fast Paul Kossoff that he leaned a lot harder on earlier. The Nothing to Lose vibrato, the beginning of that solo. And like I think it's like East Lansing 74, that boot is that version. Ace is just on fire on that. Ace is always on fire. Look at him. He's back there smoking. I mean, God. We love you, Ace. Is that about all we need to say?
I love you, Ace. You mattered more than you'll ever know. I'm sad I didn't tell you that the one time I met you. think the fracture
What else can we say about our beloved Ace, man?
Yeah, it's like we didn't know him, but we felt like we know him. You know, we feel like we knew him, and that kind of thing too. It's like from the people who did know him, they said that he was like a good friend and the kind of guy who would be there to help you if you were down. And that's something like, I guess, like in his inner friendships, you know, he just wanted to be like the regular guy. He didn't want to be known as Ace. He wanted to be known like Paul. And I'm just a guy who likes to go out fishing and hang out.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. And just play guitar. And
which is wild because it's so contrary to
the persona that we're used to is
far out image of the spaceman.
Exactly.
From the planet Jandel.
Exactly. It was like the guy who's farthest out there in space is supposed to be the most down to earth of the four, and just wanted to be like a regular guy.
Dear Earthlings.
Right. I kind of wanted that because, you know, when you hear people's accounts of how they knew Ace, it just seems like that's the kind of guy he was. Like just the, you know,
salt of the earth. You know,
like
out of those guys, you know, and I can't speak to Gene because I never met Gene, but Paul was really cool. But he's still Paul, you know, he's
aloof,
still
distant.
Not really aloof. No, man, like when he met me, honestly, again, I refer to that poster that's got everybody but Gene. Come on, Gene, let's hang out, man. But he was, you know, I told you about, you know, backstage at the 95 convention, him like taking me by both shoulders and being like, did you have a good time? Wasn't this the coolest? Like that sense that everybody in the band in 95 had at those official conventions. I mean, they were having a ball playing those tunes, you know? And
yes.
Talk about wishing the Ace could have been there for that, you know?
Right.
But yeah, like, to your point about, you know, being the down to earth guy and the guy that, you know, he's the one that you'd sort of want to hang out with, and he'd be certainly the most relatable, I think.
Right.
You know, I thought it was really poignant. I mean, as you all have, just the outpouring on Thursday. Just, I mean, my feeds on Instagram and Facebook, YouTube, it was nuts, man. Especially on Instagram, just person after, I mean, just so many people. I mean, we often talk about, you know, out of all the members of KISS, I think Ace is certainly the most responsible for inspiring the most musicians.
Many
so
guitar
many
players.
Yes.
Many guitar players.
In many genres. Country dudes, rock dudes. I'm sure there's even jazz dudes.
I got to a certain age and started seeing I'd read a lot of rock magazines, and once you got to a certain point, they'd all start mentioning KISS, and it just never stopped. And I always picked up on that and just knew that their influence was as big as anyone's. And then, so that this is now when you really see that come out for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
But one of the things that I did see on Instagram was an interview with him. I'm not sure from how long ago. It looks like it might have been fairly recent, like on that 10,000 volts. He did a whole bunch of press.
He did.
For that. He was doing a radio interview talking about Gene, and he said, like, many times I heard Gene say that he didn't have any friends. And he was like, I didn't like when he said that. Like, hey, I'm your friend, you know?
Yeah.
And so much is always made of the squabbles. That's just the shit rises to the top when it comes to celebrities, and especially bands and the infighting and this and that. And even the musicians themselves, you know? Ace, you know, shit talk Paul, you know? But at the end of the day, man, like, you know, I'm sure if you've seen the footage, you know, of them, you know, what I think it was like Kiss Cruise 8 when Ace was on the boat and like jamming with everybody. It was basically like, you know, it was like Kiss Unplugged,
right?
You know, minus Peter. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, these guys, you know, they
spent a great deal of their formative years,
yeah, you know,
together. And it's like, you know, Ace was like, I'd still send him a Christmas card.
Yeah, they came from different backgrounds and whatnot, but man, you cannot, you know, speaking as somebody who's only, I probably spent all told, you know, all accumulated, maybe just a couple of years worth of, maybe 2 or 3 years of like, you know, time on the road with bands, like in a van, just being forced to, and I use that term facetiously because you love it, but having to be in close quarters with people and just what you learn about them and the bonds that you create, like clearly Ace did that, you know. He wasn't, you know, Peter, he's a little moodier, you know, like, but
they experienced a lot together that not a lot of people get to experience.
Yeah, it's definitely a brotherhood and some bonding, and the fact that you know, we're blessed because we feel as though it trickled down to us, and it seems kind of strange and kind of cold to say in a way, but you know, I've got family, I've got extended family members that I'm less attached to than to Ace Frehley. And Ace wasn't even a friend, you know?
Right.
He just, that's how much he meant to me. And so, and I think, you know, that sort of, that atypical disconnect of that having that kind of relationship, that's what makes it harder to process the grief when you lose somebody like that. But we're doing it one day at a time. It hasn't even been a week yet, you know, but we all felt that we had to like take a break from what we usually do here on, hey man, nice Kiss shirt. Take a break from the book, you know, and
give our thoughts.
Yeah, and just
process.
Put some love out there, man. Put some love out for Ace.
Yep, here's to Ace.
Here's to Ace. I could tell you to like and subscribe and put your tulips together and all that, but just go crank some Ace, man. That's what the final message of this episode needs to be.
Crank watching you.
Yeah, watching you.
Just crank side 3 of Alive.
Making love. 100,000 years, man.
Play it loud, man.
Play it loud.
And sing those leads.
The Alive 2 version of Shock Me. That's the good news. He left us with a really choice legacy.
Absolutely.
So go out and celebrate that. Rock on! That's it, isn't it?
Yep.
So, to all the wonderful curly people out there,
play hard,
play fair,
nobody hurt.